Good evening and welcome to Outside the Box. It's the show that allows you to interact directly with those hoping to gain your votes next month. We had invited all registered parties with candidates to be part of the show. Those that have so far accepted have featured on the show. We have another interesting lineup of candidates for you today, but first let's take a look at our results from our daily poll. Thank you to all those who participated and gave your views. Now the question was, should the free bus fare scheme continue after the elections? According to the results, 76% of you responded yes, 14% opted otherwise, while 8% were unsure. Today's question is, should the food voucher initiative for social welfare recipients be continued? Text your answer, a simple yes or no, to 3592. The poll is opened to Vodafone, Digicel and Ink users. Charges apply. Now, joining me in the studio tonight is Dr. Rohit Kishore from the Fiji Labour Party. He was the former permanent secretary for the Ministry of Lands and resigned back in 2009. Now he's contesting the elections. If you want to ask Dr. Rohit Kishore a question, just text in 3599 or call our studio phone 3302-100. Bula, Mr. Kishore, welcome to the show.
Bula, how are you?
Good.
Yep.
I'm fine, thank you. And yourself?
Okay.
Now, two of your strengths,
Yeah.
your specialized areas. Real estate includes housing and finance investment analysis.
Okay. Thank you for the question. Yeah. As you know, that both these areas are in trouble in this country, and we need to do a lot of work in this area. Let me particularly start with the housing. As you can see, the housing for the low-income earners, there's not adequate. We haven't got enough housing there. And this has seen a significant increase in squatter population. A lot of people are living in squatter house. And mind you, what I will do is, we'll try to fix that problem. If you look at the housing department, they got about, I think about 90 million from Exim Bank to provide low-cost housing.
That's according to your manifesto?
According to our manifesto, yes. And about half of that money is going into the Tadirua development. And those block sizes is from small to selling anywhere from 40,000 to 110,000 now. Who can afford that? Low. I mean, we can't afford that. The people on above average salary can't afford that.
But you appreciate the need for housing, right? by the people of Fiji.
Yes, I mean, they require. So what we will do, we'll make sure our manifesto covers that area very well in the housing area. And we'll make sure that we got schemes for low income housing. And this also has seen rise in rural poverty, people living in squatter, and also exit from rural area. For example, if you look at north, a lot of people are, hardly anybody is left in Lambasa, so to speak. And people are here all in the corridor, Suvarnasiri corridor, living in squatter housing. So we will handle that. We have a big challenge on our hand, and we'll make sure we fix that. And we'll provide housing. We got schemes, low fund scheme housing. And we also want to create a lending institution. If you remember, Chaudhry, when he was 1999 Labour government, yep, he was the one who reduced the interest rate of Ministry of Housing Authority. Remember that? So we have a similar scheme, because these people can't go and borrow from bank. So they have a fund from borrowing, and we'll make sure that we look after this squattership and reduce housing squatter, provide adequate housing and all services to these people. And make sure that also we revitalize rural economy. If you look at our agriculture policy, it's a real good one. We got certain schemes. This is real stuff we have. Remember, this is a very experienced party, very experienced leader, former prime minister. And if you look at our manifesto, it's reflecting all that, right?
Yep.
And you want people back in rural area, sugarcane, copra, we got very good policies. And like my strength, you said analysis, right? One of the analyses that I have done is very interesting. If you look at the sugar prices, which have been falling anywhere between $60, $70. Yep. If your cost of producing 1 ton of sugar is about $60 and price is $70, it's leaving about $10 per ton. An average farmer is about 150 tons per year, right? Which, if you calculate 10,500 in income, about 9,000 in cost, that leaves Mika, a farmer, about $1,500 per year to survive.
What's your response to comments over the years that Fiji Labour Party had politicized the sugar industry?
I don't see people, oppositions will say anything they like. They will say, but I think it's a bit of a jealousy, because especially Mr. Chaudhry in era, he was able to control sugar industry. Remember, we were at that time producing about close to 3.5 to 400 million ton of sugarcane. Today it's 1.5. It's halved, right? And rail services is gone. That's another thing in our manufacture, to make sure that we transport rail.
There's a call online. Apinisa from Lami. Bula Apinisa.
Yeah, doctor. I'm inquiring just by listening to your explanation about all these developments about the low-income earners and the rental things that you've been saying. My question is, how would you be able to cater all these promises that you're making on land development? Since it was the last thing that Chaudhry did, that the last event took place in the year that Chaudhry managed to win the election, and there was a coup about it, about the land. So are these promises being reenacted again to gain the popularity of in this year's elections?
What's the question?
The question is about the land issue that the Fiji Labour Party had brought some years back, and it became a controversial issue. And he's saying, is Labour Party bringing all this back?
No.
To gain votes?
No, we are not doing that at all. If you see our manifesto, there's nothing like that there. Yeah.
Okay. Now, in social media,
right,
your party leader's son, Rajendra Chaudhry,
sure,
is criticizing you. He's asking some questions about you, your citizenship, the validity of citizenry in Fiji.
Right.
Clarify this point.
Well, I want to clarify. See, now when I'm embarked to become a politician, I'm also careful about this thing. You can see this. This is my Fiji passport, and this is my wife's Fiji passport. So we both are fully citizen, even not that one is here and one is there, like many people. So I don't know what else they want.
But the question is, how come this is boiling from within the party? You're talking about your party leaders.
I think he let me put it straight. The story is like this. He wanted to come and contest the election, and that he's not allowed there. He has some rape charges against him, and the leader just told him that no, don't come, stay there, and that's why he's angry and he's having a go at all of us.
So how do you plan to resolve this within the party?
Well, we don't have a problem in the party. I mean, this is the kind of thing I want to clarify that I'm fully citizen, and according to the Constitution and the electoral decree, I qualify to be a candidate, I qualify to vote and be a candidate.
This is another question that people are raising, that you were terminated from the USP.
Again, Mika, I got here. You can read it if you want. And this is original. Just have a quick read of the first paragraph, and you'll see that that is not the case.
So you resigned?
Yes, it's all
to
there.
Contest this election.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. Now, first-time voters. We have first-time voters, 18-year-olds. Particularly,
right?
What do you have in store for them? We have 18-year-olds who are unemployed, who have graduated but no job.
We have two things for men. Our manifesto, if you look at, we got it there.
Just quickly, we are out of time now. Just quickly.
Yeah, page 20. We have two things for them, right? Unemployment is the bigger, 20% unemployment for the youth. So we have a very good plan scheme to provide them employment. That's one thing we're doing. And secondly, training. We got a scheme to train them where we'll give them pocket allowance. They'll be trained with us, discipline, and they get the job. Then they get proper job after that.
Okay. Now, thank you, Doctor. Stay with us. We will be back with Dr. Emasi Qovu after the break. Welcome back. Join our discussion live tonight by texting in your questions to 3599 or call our studio in by line 330-100. And remember, you can have your say in our daily poll. The question is still, should the food voucher initiative for social welfare recipients be continued? Simply text yes or no to 3592 to all Vodafone, Digicel and Inc. users. Now, Dr. Emasi Qovu joins us from the People's Democratic Party. Dr. Qovu, welcome to Outside the Box.
Thank you.
Now, Dr. Qovu, you're not new to the political arena.
Right.
You were once in Parliament
Right.
by an SDL ticket. You're also a member of the VLV. And
No, not VLB.
Never?
Never.
Okay, but again, you tried in 2001 to become a member of SDL party. You
Right.
didn't get a ticket
No.
then. And then you again tried to join the party for 2014.
Exactly.
And what happened then?
Well, it's a change that I've gone through all these years, particularly after I came away from USP after getting my Doctor of Philosophy degree. Sort of influenced me to have a broader perspective of what is happening on politically. So I applied, and not with that vigor. So I thought that, okay, let's give it to the people that actually decides. It's up to them. So when I didn't get the response that I was expecting, so I sort of back off.
Were you concerned and angry about that? SDL didn't. I mean, SODELPA did not respond to you.
In a way, in fact, yes, to suffer with, but not very angry, because I know somebody is guiding me. Somebody is guiding me. So I stayed out for a while until I watched on the 22nd of June the interview by Mr. Felix Anthony. When I saw, when I watched his interview, I said, "Hi, this is real Democratic Party. This is exactly what I should do." So I called my daughter.
So that what attracted you to PDP?
Yeah, exactly.
That it is a Democratic Party according to your own opinion.
For example, when they set out to nominate or to find out the leadership in the party, it was fully democratic conducted, not nominated by what other parties have done. So when I listened to that, I said, "Oh, this is it. This is it." So that really convinced me that I should forget it, SODELPA, and I should join PDP.
Yeah. Because you said you were attracted to PDP because of the democratic setup that they had.
Right.
GCC and land bank, these are the issues that PDP is looking at, particularly GCC, introducing.
The GCC.
GCC, the Great Council of Chiefs.
Right.
So you were part of SDL.
Yes.
And there's so much opposition to that. And do you still have the same view then, today, about the GCC?
GCC is you must have read in our manifesto, PDP's manifesto. We want to get it back, but in a structured form, where the secretariat should be made up by lawyers, experts, economists, accountants. They form up the secretariat so that they can give informed advice to the chiefs for the continued advancement, particularly economically, of the indigenous Fijians.
Yeah. Now, Dr. Qovu, there's a Rajesh from Kunoy on the line.
I wanted to ask, boss, can you just clarify this about your leader? That what your leader did in 2006, he went down to overseas, like Australia and New Zealand, and told them, not to buy anything from Fiji. Don't send your tourists to Fiji. Stop your tourists. He managed to stop the aid which we were getting from Australia and New Zealand. And he's saying it's for the people. If they would have followed, tourists wouldn't be coming to Fiji. They wouldn't be buying sugar from us. They wouldn't be buying other products from us. We would be done. Our country would be shut down. Like all those poor people would be the one who would be suffering, not the people who have done whatever you guys are saying was wrong.
I think what I understand from the caller is basically his if I can sum that up, he's questioning the credibility of your party, PDP.
I see. Credibility. Good. This party has been formed through the cooperation of the Trade Union Congress, Fiji Trade Congress. In other words, they've been existing for so many years. It's only on the 13th of May last year when they thought of forming it into a political party. Why? Because of the continuous bombardment by the authorities now
of denying the rights of the workers of this country. And also, not only that, what has come in now is denying the basic rights of the people of Fiji, the present regime. So if you're asking credibility, what else is there that is trying to question when you're trying to look after the basic rights, basic human rights of these people? Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Tungobu. Ngobu,
Yes.
my apologies. Now, for our 18-year-olds who will be voting for the first time,
Right.
what do you think the best you can do for them or deliver if you were to be voted into Parliament?
Right. Their interest is centered on education, and education is my passion. And the campaigns that we have done so far, we've been pointing out to them, this is your opportunity to making sure that you never give up on education. Failure is part of success in education. And never give up, because there are provisions provided on, through scholarship. And when we get in, we'll make sure we revive the four scholarships that have been there. Public Service Commission scholarship, multi-ethnic affairs scholarship, Fijian affairs scholarship, and the own scheme. We will make, because when this scholarship had been implemented, we had a lot of more students benefiting from scholarships, rather than now only a few. That is exactly what's happening. And for the youth, we'll tell them, this is it. Never give up. Never give up. Because the people that give up will never be able to reach the tape in their life. And also, my advice to them, if I'm able to get a PhD degree my age, right? What is there to stop them from getting it?
Thank you. Dr. Vinawalebu, Dr. Ngobu. After the break, in our final segment, we will feature the former opposition leader, Mick Beddoes. Welcome back. Now remember, you can join the discussion live by texting in your questions to 35599 or call our studio line 330-100. We will wrap up the show with an old hand at politics. Mick Beddoes, as many as you know, was the country's opposition leader until 2006. He contested under the United Generals People's Party then, and now he's with SODELPA. Mr. Beddoes, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Why a shift from UGP to SODELPA?
Well, first and foremost, I've joined SODELPA because of the leadership that SODELPA has. Rotemumu is the kind of leader that I see Fiji needing as we come to these elections. I think she will be an excellent Prime Minister, and I want to do everything that is possible for me to do during this campaign to try and make sure that she becomes the next elected Prime Minister of Fiji. Now, moving from the United People's Party to SODELPA, first of all, we wound up the party. We took the decision to wind up the party after the introduction of those decrees. And we realized that a long time had elapsed. No political activity had taken place in 7 years. And so we had to come to the decision about whether we were to reactivate the party or not. And it was our informed decision that we thought we should wind it up and thank our members for their support, and then invite them to join any of the other mainstream parties that they thought would benefit them. And I decided to wait for at least 6 months before I announced which party I would join, to give my members the opportunity to make that decision themselves.
Now, I'm told you're the architect behind the SODELPA's issues on food cost and cost of living, that resulted in the allocation of $15 million annually to subsidize the prices of approved list of VAT. Is it correct?
Yeah, well, I undertook a pretty simple survey. All we did was we got hold of the advertised prices of goods in 2006, in fact in the month of June, and then my staff and I went along to the same shops in 2014 and wrote down the actual prices for the same items. What we discovered was, from the 32 items we examined, there was an 86% increase in price. And then we selected 10 items that we considered would be the normal sort of weekly household budget. And these 10 items cost roughly about $36 in 2006. The same items today cost something like $76. The actual increase was in excess of 100%. Now, the lowest increased item was toothpaste. That had increased by 16%. The highest increased item was lamb chops, and that had increased by 227%. So what we were trying to show and demonstrate was, in actual fact, in real terms, the effect on the people today is that whatever you're spending, whatever your normal spend is for groceries every week, you're actually getting half as much as you used to. Mm-hmm. And the other thing we also discovered, that not only in some items had the prices increased, the actual quantity of what was being provided for that price had reduced as well. So it was an interesting exercise. Mm.
Now we have a call online, Mr. Beddoes. Bulo to you, sir.
Bulo Vinaka, this is Avinesh from Nandi. I have a question for Mr. Beddoes. In 2003, SDL government was in power, right? School fees for the indigenous students was free. For the other races, it was not free. If a minister's son, who is indigenous, was studying, and in Pop 7, I was also studying, his education was free, mine wasn't. Most of the Indian students who were studying could not afford the fees, but they still has to pay. Now, what the current government has done, the fees is, there's no fees. All students are studying free. When SDL, SODELPA, SDL will come in power, will you have the same education policy as you had before? Will you concentrate on indigenous people only, not other races?
Okay, Dr. Beddoes?
I never heard any of that. My earpiece is not working. So if you can just tell me what the question was.
Sure. Now he's saying, he's questioning SDL government then in 2003 that there was free school fees for Fijians, indigenous community, and not other races. Mm-hmm. And the current government has a policy on that, free education. And he's asking whether SDL party will implement that policy, for free education, or will still concentrate on indigenous issues.
No, I think it's pretty clear. In fact, what one should not forget is the actual free tuition, which is what this is about. The free tuition was started by the SDL government. In fact, Rotemumu, as Minister for Education, was involved in that. So that's already something that was already in the pipeline. What the regime has done is extended the actual classes that benefit from that. The SODELPA approach will be to continue with that, of course. And you will notice that the SODELPA manifesto, while it touches on key issues that are important to the indigenous people, it is also highlights quite clearly that all of its policies are designed for all citizens of Fiji. I come from the minority community. The reason I'm joining SODELPA is because we now can have a direct input and say in the various processes and decision making of SODELPA as a political entity moving forward. And as far as I'm concerned, the forward movement of SODELPA is to take care of the needs of all of the citizenry and not just the Tokay community. The Tokay community, without a doubt, is the major population in this country, and that has been the basis of the support of SODELPA in the past. And there's no need to make an apology for it moving forward. It will continue to enhance that support base, and why wouldn't it?
Just one final question to you, Mr. Beddoes. In 2005, you were against the SDL's government's proposal for a reconciliation, tolerance and unity bill to be proposed into Parliament, and they proposing the similar issue here in the manifesto, Truth Reconciliation Commission. Mm-hmm. You were against it then, but now you're agreeing to it by joining the party. What's the difference?
The difference was back in the period when I was opposing the Truth and Reconciliation, I was opposing also the process in which was being undertaken at the time. All right? Now, I am supporting, and I've always supported, the need for us to have a Truth and Reconciliation, for us to amend the issues of the past. Our problem in Fiji is that we have not dealt with our past effectively. And as a consequence, until we effectively deal with the shortcomings and all the problems we had in the past, it will continue to revisit us in the future. And my point is, the Truth and Reconciliation is one part of the process. There needs to be a commission of inquiry. We need the truth about what has gone wrong so we can identify it, heal the wounds, and then move forward with a lot of confidence.
Thank you, Mr. Beddoes. Time is up for the show. That's a show for tonight. We will announce the results of today's poll in tomorrow's show. Remember, you can still text in your answers to our poll. The question line will be open until 6 p.m. Tomorrow. Again, the question is, should the free bus fare scheme continue after the elections? Text in your answer, yes or no, to 35592. Join me again tomorrow as I speak to another 3 different party candidates, also hoping to contest the coming elections. Good evening.